In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Dear friends, my name is Abdul Khaliq Darwish. Here in Pakistan, we, the general public, the commoners, are trying to have the relationship, trying to make the relationship with the so called important people, the VIPs. Government officials, elected representatives, wealthy and influential people, celebrities. We are trying to attach ourselves with these people. We want to get closer to them. We want them to accept us. We want them to accept us as one of their men, one of their people, one of their well wishers, so that by using either their resources or their influence, we could take certain advantages in our life. To be able to get that, we are trying to become their toadies, flattering them, working for them, so that they do take us as someone who is loyal to them, someone who is a committed follower of them. We want to tell them by our words as well as by our actions that I am your well wisher. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to be happy. I want you to develop and to succeed. I want you to have whatever you want to achieve. I want you to reach wherever you want to reach. This is what we are trying to instill in their mind. This is what we are trying to inculcate in their mind. Because unless and until we succeed doing this, we will not be able to get what we want from them. So desperate to become their toadies. Why? Because we are of the view that here in Pakistan I cannot succeed and I cannot live comfortably. I don't feel protected. I'm not safe. I don't feel safety unless and until I do have an umbrella of a powerful person over me. This is what we think. But still, there are many of us, not as many, definitely, as those who are following these VIPs, but definitely still there are considerable number of the people who think that I don't need to prove my loyalties to these people, the so-called important people. Why? Because I need to prove my loyalties to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I need to prove myself as a true follower of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I want to get closer to them. I want to be in their good books. I don't need to become in the good books of these important or so-called important people. Rather, I need to be one. I need to become one. I need to become a person who is in the good books of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. That is what I need to do. As far as for seeking the sport, as for becoming trying to become a toady of these VIPs, I think it is mere short sightedness and nothing else at all. Why? Because they themselves are very much weak and they are dependent upon certain other people. There is a kind of hierarchy of the toadies. So I don't need to become, I know to become, I don't need to become at any layer at all. Rather, I need to work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I need to work for Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They don't need my work at all, but for my own self. But for my own self, I need to I need to become a loyal and obedient and a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a true follower of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Dear friends, my suggestion is that if at all we do want a kind of protection, so let's try to seek the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maybe here in this world we will not be able to accumulate enough amount of money. We will not be able to get a name of ours here in this society. But as far the life hereafter is concerned, as far in the long term is concerned, I think if at all we are wise enough, if at all we are intelligent enough, then we need to say it from the very depth of our heart that La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I need to become, I am totally committed to become a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a true follower of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That is the biggest honor for me, and nothing else is needed at all by me. If at all I do succeed in achieving this would actually mean that I have achieved the maximum out of my life. I have gained the maximum. But as for these people, the so-called VIPs and the so-called VVIPs are concerned, I think that they themselves are not safe at all. How come they can make me a safe person? That's not true. And even if I do have to sacrifice the material benefits, I shall be seeking my association, I shall be seeking the umbrella of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then I need the umbrella of followership of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That is definitely the biggest ever achievement anyone else can ever make here in this world and in this life. As far the so-called material development is concerned, as far achieving certain other benefits are concerned here in this world, I think those are all trivial things, unimportant things, which can be sacrificed. And if at all we do sacrifice, nothing will be wrong with us, nothing will be wrong in our life at all. But if at all we do lose, if at all I lose all the people, if at all none of the people is accompanying me, none of the people is supporting me, none of the creation is supporting me, I think it doesn't matter much to me at all. But if at all Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not support me, does not protect me, then I will be in the biggest ever loss. I will be in the hellfire, and definitely that is a very very bad place. From today onward, I think that we are going to have a kind of identity that okay, I do have to, I don't have to become a slave of anyone else at all. I don't need to become a toady of anyone else at all. I shall prefer to become a true slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a true follower of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That is the biggest ever honor for me. Nothing could be as good, nothing could be as important, nothing could be as beneficial as this one. All the other achievements are nothing but fake, nothing but deception.